Okay, so as you sort of make your way past the worm colony, you are back sort of into the corridors. The bricks in this area all seem to have little pictures sort of carved into them. Some very ornate sort of tableaus of like 100 people sitting at a table, and some a crude stick figure of a man with a sword. As the sort of brickwork gets a bit weirder, you hear the chirping of must be a bird up ahead. So the quick chirp chirp chirp. No. So that's sort of up ahead. The corridors and such sort of go left, right, any direction you want. The only sort of clue you have is either towards the chirping or a different direction.
Are birds good or bad?
They're a big problem.
If you're a worm, I'd imagine they're very, very bad.
I like birds.
Okay, you like birds, you don't like... What is your feeling on birds? Maybe we should have a vote.
I think they forgot the words. That's why they're, whistling all the time.
Rather than singing.
Yeah.
So.
What is the word?
Bird.
Oh.
I hate you. This table. Get out of this room. That was dire.
Oh, beautiful.
No
Actually,
excuse for
what do the pictures look like in the direction that the chirp is coming from? Actually, are they any different to the pictures in the other directions?
So the pictures sort of nearer the bird, there's no sort of difference in their quality. They still seem to be sort of haphazard. However, you see that in a few of them, there seems to be quite a lot of sort of damage, as if someone had sort of had at them with a chisel, sort of in random locations. And
that looks like damagey spike damage.
Oh, yeah, that would be...
That's
Damage.
defacement of art. The mayor would have a fit.
Yeah, we mustn't show the mayor then.
This looks like what happens when I try and climb up walls.
I'd imagine so, that must be rough.
Except for the times where I get stuck.
Oh dear. That would be hard.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like things that can damage walls are quite scary, right? Are birds less scary than that? Are they the same direction as the birds?
it's that direction. The bird direction is the damaged walls direction.
It might be wall peckers.
Yeah.
Are those a thing? Are those a thing here, wallpeckers?
Yeah. Although they tend to stay away from me, although it's just,
I like birds.
You're very big.
We'll walk towards the birds.
they just sort of like
So we're
perch on
going
your
this
head.
way. I guess we follow the leaf because they've decided that's where we're going.
I'm going wherever you go. I'm your shoulder.
Yeah, true.
He's big and slow but deliberate.
Oh.
Birds.
As you walk on, there are some broken branches on the floor, twigs, moss, and leaves litter the passage. As you pick your way through them, they become denser and denser until sort of up ahead you can see that there's sort of a sphere of them blocking the passage. And from sort of within the sphere, though you can't sort of see its shape, you can hear the odd chirping of the bird. The assumed bird.
Can I control the plants and try and open it up and find a bird?
Definitely.
I like birds.
So you concentrate and
sneak around behind your head.
there's quite a lot of plants here, so I'm going to say sort of difficulty 3 to sort of clear a way.
Find the birds. 6!
Nice.
Excellent.
So you sort of concentrate, plants friends, and sort of all of the interwoven sort of twigs sort of unlace themselves and open like a dawn flower, revealing a rather large, and let's see if I can get this on. course, I do it upside down. There you go. So a rather large and rather disturbed-looking stilt bird. So
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
How tall is it?
so it's only sort of 3 feet tall until so it's sort of stubby top section, and as you sort of disturb it, it puts its 2 feet on the ground and stands and stands and stands until it's reaching up to sort of 6-7 foot tall.
I would have thought.
So looming over all
I
of you.
just jump
except
on
for
Leaf's back and hold on and hide.
So in the sort of trapped in the twigs, you can see there are a few sort of items. What appears to be a little sort of slingshot, sort of woven in on sort of quite high up, out of reach of everyone, but and then what appears to be a curious sort of roll of sort of a small silver cylinder, something you've never quite sort of seen before, quite thick. Sort of silver cylinder, sort of, and that's away in the twigs. The other thing you'll notice as this guy stands is 2 eggs, big, sort of size of an ostrich egg, blue with mottled orange spots, as it stands, and gives you less of a chirp, more of a squawk. It doesn't look too pleased that you've opened up its nest.
I puff up and peer over Leaf's shoulder.
So,
Hello, bird.
so that silver cylinder, what sort of material does it look like? Does it look like metal or like maybe like fabric?
Well, if you want to throw me a this is you get the idea that this might be a mundane sort of artifact.
Wow, you don't know.
That's a
rolled
one.
owl.
The only thing you can be certain of is that it's not from the labyrinth. It is from the land that humans come from.
Oh.
Fair enough. The only thing I was wondering is if it looked pretty.
Oh well, it's also been on that for a while. Whoops. Yep. So give enough silence after that. There we go. Pretty.
Yeah, like would it complement my dress?
I mean, for you, it's probably quite a bit bigger than you. You could
Okay.
you could sit in the hole in the middle of the sort of cylinder.
Okay.
So it's quite squat. It's probably about 6 inches in diameter, only a couple of inches tall. Silver with a big sort of hole in the centre. So yeah, it looks. It's quite a dull silver, but it looks nice. But the more pressing concern at the moment is the angry bird.
Whisper in your ear. Oh, we're lucky. It's only a small one.
Oh, it's small. I just start apologising. I'm sorry. We didn't mean to disturb your nest. You're very big. I'm sorry.
Hello.
It takes 1 step forwards, flutters out its obviously vestigial wings, and gives another angry squawk. This time, I'm assuming sort of Leaf, as you were sort of doing the plant stuff, is probably near the front. Gives a squawk right at you.
On Leaf in my head.
And I'm on you.
You're the only one not on the shoulder. I'm sorry. I don't feel too left out.
No, it's probably good I'm not on someone's
Very
shoulder.
pointed.
What do you want?
I'm gonna pat the
Please
bird.
don't eat us.
So, as you approach the bird, can you give me a sort of handling animals?
Which one?
So that'd be a d6.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to say difficulty 5.
Oh,
This luck is going to run out.
it is. It really is.
So you sort of
Hello.
approach the bird. It looks at you sullenly, and then you give it sort of a big pat on the head, and it sort of goes down about half a foot with each pat, and gives you a squawk. It sort of steps over its eggs. Seems quite protective of those, but it doesn't seem like it's like going to actively sort of come at you. Seems sort of placated for now.
We'll offer it the moss.
It sort of looks at the moss, pecks it around a bit, and sort of shakes its head.
While it's distracted,
Yes.
can I slip off Sir Robin's shoulder and try and get up the nest towards towards those two hidden objects?
So they're in different places. There's sort of the slingshot or the silver item.
The silver item is not as shiny as I was hoping it was, so I think I'm going to go for the slingshot. It would make a nice little make a nice little carriage to go in, go around in.
Aww.
Yeah. I was like, I want to travel in style. I'm going to see if I can get
A hammock with an escape pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can sneak up to this little escape pod hammock.
Fantastic. Well, can you give me a sort of sneaking check? So that's a D6.
I think wall climbing just lets me do this, and I don't think very small really gets me advantage here.
No.
So just a straight.
So we're looking for, I reckon, 4.
Ooh.
6 is all the way. But, players at home may not just roll 6s.
We've been weirdly lucky. This is definitely going to stop at some point.
Yeah.
The stilt bird is distracted, looking at Leaf, whilst Mrs. Worm manages to climb up and get to the slingshot, dislodge it, and sort of hold it.
Do I have any idea what the other object is up there? The sort of 6-inch silver object.
If you throw me a knowledge about
Okay.
what did I say, difficulty 5 before?
Yeah.
Difficulty 5 for sort of.
Oh, that's cocked.
That's well.
I think it's quite
I
clear.
think it's an owl.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that, yeah.
I'm afraid. If you got a closer look at it, you think you could probably sort of get a better
I
view.
try and get Mrs. Worm's attention. Say, knock that down.
Mrs. Webb is quite busy, like, nice stitching. So,
Knock it down, you said.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the bird still distracted?
It's definitely sort of, now that it's worked out that there's moss isn't food, it's maybe sort of looking around a bit more warily at you. It's protecting its eggs.
Jumping is a skill, so I'm going to try and jump up and knock it off with my tail if I can.
Okay.
A slingshot, is that
Yeah.
a thing? Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm going to try and do that.
I'm going to say difficulty 4, as you sort of leap, try and jump off some of the twigs, bounce off the wall, as cats do.
Oh,
Another
that-
6.
Oh, it's going to go so badly in like
this
2
is
minutes.
badly.
This is going to catch up with us.
We're all rolling different dice as well. It's not one dice.
No.
Right?
So you every game comes with a loaded dice.
Guaranteed success in this game.
You leap forward, bounce off the sort of one twig wall, jump, so the whole thing shakes. Mrs. Worm holds on for her dear life,
Let me cling and pop up.
and sort of as you pass, smack the mysterious item out. The item falls the far side of the stilt bird and sort of rolls away from it, and you sort of land on the other side.
You can get
And
it.
you can
It's like stuff
pick
it down
it
the
up.
plate armour if it's small enough. Get
so
back behind Leaf.
as you pick it up, you sort of take a look. It's lighter. It's not made of metal. And sort of you give it a bit of squeeze, it's a little bit soft. And as you sort of look around the edge, there seems to be a bit of a seam. If you pull at the seam, it seems like the entire thing is made of a sticky fabric. What you found is a roll of duct tape.
Oh, that's well good.
I thought this might be.
I love that. That's amazing.
Excellent.
But,
Well, if anyone gets injured, we can stick them back together.
Useful.
Fine.
but yeah, you are now the other side of the stilt bird, as is sort of Mrs. Worm, sort of above, and Leaf and Scrog still the sort of the dangerous side.
Kind of like
Okay.
wave and beckon.
Okay.
I'm just crawling above, over,
Yeah, you just go round.
hoping that the stilt bird's attention does not draw my way.
How much space is there? Can I get through if I was just to walk, or do I need?
This bird has rather inconveniently
Oh.
made its nest right smack dab in the centre of the corridor. So you can't really see a way that you'd be able to to just sort of make your way past, especially as you are very big.
What I'm going to try and do is I've got duct tape.
Hmm.
Can I try and tie its feet together with duct tape and trip it up?
So you're going to try and like sneak forward.
Sneak forwards.
Just quietly
So-
like tape its feet.
What's up to the
Push.
ground?
Oh, to the ground is much more fun.
Just round.
Yeah, just round. Like so, it's like your
Yeah.
shoelaces are tied together
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
situation.
I love it. Difficulty 5. And then we're probably going to go into it.
I'd like to try and help in a dangerous fashion
Oh god.
by drawing its attention up with,
Okay.
with a little song.
What do you sing? What worm song do you sing?
Oh, kookaburra, look up into this tree. Dance a little worm might be so good to me. Kookaburra, look. Kookaburra, don't look at your feet.
That was everything.
I love it. I'm going to drop straight down to a 3.
Excellent.
Nice.
Not a 6.
Not a 6 though.
I love how we're all like, oh, it's not a 6.
Not a 6 or a 1.
So yeah, you sneak forwards as the worm sort of distracts this. There's a pun about early birds and worms in there somewhere.
Definitely is.
But, if we
None
could
of
take
us
a
are
break
there.
for just 10 minutes whilst I just think of it. No, you sneak forwards and get this duct tape, stick it to one leg, flip it round, until the two legs are sort of together. As you do so, we're going to jump into sort of an action scene. So the stilt bird squawks at you. You're sort of holding one end of the duct tape, the other side still sort of wrapped around its legs, and it is sort of preparing to jump, leap at the worm, the tasty worm, and so in an action scene, essentially, I describe the situation like so. Then each of you gets to sort of do a thing. Then we sort of go down the timeline about 5 seconds and see where we are there. As soon as 5 seconds wouldn't change the situation importantly, we're out of the action scene. So that's the status at the moment. What do you guys do? You can do this in any order.
I want to try and pull the duct tape so it falls over. If I've got the end and it's like tied up,
Okay.
yank it.
So can you roll me? So actually, like physically getting it over. He's a big boy. I think it's going to be a 5.
Cool.
No.
I pull it. It doesn't work.
So I think what actually happens is you pull as hard as you can, and you're now stood a couple of meters away from the thing with a very long piece of duct tape leading to the stilt bird.
Oh dear.
Seeing that the stilt bird has its legs tied together, and at the same time as this is pulling, I'm going to use I've seen like 3 uses for this thing shot. I'm going to use number 3. Because it's got like a wide pad at the top, right? Which you'd use to put the sling in, right?
Yeah.
Grabbing the 2 sides, I'm going to try and parachute off
Oh, perfect.
this slingshot as a tiny parachute.
Can I try and catch them?
Oh.
Yeah, it's like race past and grab me to try and get it to
Single trait,
overbalance.
like you're like-
following
Yeah.
me.
Definitely. So difficulty 4 going down to difficulty 3 for the teamwork there. Another 6.
With a different die.
Okay. You land in my hands like the palms of my hands are kind of like if you imagine the sort of little spikes you get on cats' tongues.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, rough, yeah.
Yeah. And I sort of run off down the
Yeah.
down the path.
Fantastic. And what's Leaf?
I'm trying to move more of this nest so I can get through, because I can't get past. Just trying to get all the plants to move up the wall and move the whole thing up. So there's enough room to crawl through at least.
Okay. This one, difficulty 4.
Okay.
So,
4.
4. Ooh, just. Yeah, so you
Careful
sort
the
of...
eggs.
Yeah. You managed to sort of lift the nest, maybe push it a bit to the side, and creating a space that you can sort of crawl through with gusto. Okay, and we're on to the bird. So his legs currently duct taped together. as soon as you're sort of out of reach, he sort of looks around. He can't seem to move very fast. He's very sort of ungainly. Looks like he's probably going to fall over at any moment. And the only person within reach is Sir Robin. So he is going to squawk and come at you and try and sort of... So he jumps down, grabs you by the scruff of the neck in his beak.
I scream and pop up.
Cry. Picks you up and basically starts shaking you. And that's the scene at the moment. What do you guys do?
Do I still... I've not let go of my roll of duct tape during
You've
this,
still got the
have
roll
I?
of duct tape.
I imagine it's a bit of a mess because it's a long piece and I've been picked up. The long bit that's hanging down, I just want to try and put it over its eyes.
Perfect.
I love it.
It's quite clumsy and
Difficulty 5.
Okay.
There you go. This guy, he's...
Oh!
5.
Yes.
But, remember as well, guys, if you have any abilities that you think will sort of help out with a check, you get to roll 2 dice and take the highest.
Okay.
Not really with this one because it's not running or jumping. So.
that bit comes soon.
Running is soon.
So, yeah, you... I think it's less of an intentional thing and more in its thrashing. Somehow it gets this duct tape sort of all the way up there. Like tinsel on a Christmas tree. And it's sort of one layer of it sort of covers this thing's eyes. So it cannot see. It's still holding you. But it's panicked.
Help!
Bad bird. I'm just going to get to let go. Like a dog with a ball. Like, no. Bad. No.
So I reckon difficulty 4 for this one.
Oh, 3.
No.
Not
a 6.
So you're currently you're in its mouth, and you're currently still tied to it by duct tape, which you're holding.
I'm not tied to it by duct tape.
It's just holding.
I could rip the duct tape.
Okay.
I've got the end of it. It's
so it just needs something to get in its mouth.
I have you in my hands.
You have me in your hands, and also a slingshot.
Yes.
Fun ideas.
Okay.
I'm willing to assist you if you're willing to do something
Slingshot
stupid.
the worm.
Right.
Yes, slingshot the worm.
I'm sort of running away, and then there's a moment of worm, slingshot, bird, worm, slingshot, bird, worm, slingshot, bird. I hold the slingshot out, put Mrs. Worm in it, sort of pull it back.
Have you got any of those marbles left?
Yes!
Give me a marble! Give me a marble!
I give you a marble.
No, I've got a weapon.
This could get very dark.
So dark.
Everyone catches the bird!
There we go.
There it is. I try and move out of the way when I see this happening. Like I'm still in its mouth, but I try and create a gap to help.
Yeah, so I guess you probably roll this one.
Okay.
But I'm
So-
helping.
I am attempting to launch the early worm at the bird.
Okay, I reckon you've got the use of the slingshot,
Yeah.
which I'm going to give you advantage, but difficulty 5.
Okay, so roll 2.
Improved.
Right.
Does my assistance count for count to reduce that? Or is
But
that
I think
reducing that
success, you'll still sort of get an action
so
after
got
that.
it.
Oh. 4 and a 2.
Oh dear.
So you don't hit.
Yeah.
However, sort of sailing past, you can still sort of do
Still
something. If
something.
you,
I'd like to try and hurl it so the beak's not forming like a perfect closed seal around.
No.
Yeah. It's going to be much harder, but I'd like to try and hock this marble into its mouth to try and temporarily choke it and keep it busy.
I want to try and create a gap once I see what you're doing, as far as helping goes, to try and the cats can be just any shape.
I think it's going to be another 5.
Yeah.
This is a toughie.
Yay!
It's one of the smaller marbles.
As you go past, sort of flicking that marble in, you sort of hit it in sort of in through the gap in the beak, and reflexively, so it doesn't sort of choke, but it reflexively sort of coughs and opens its mouth, dropping Sir Robin sort of onto the floor, which I assume you land
I
perfectly.
like having my feet because I'm a cat. Yes.
Um,
And immediately start running. Running away.
well, I think at
away,
this
away.
point,
Stuck in the trees in the in the
Yeah.
hedge again. I'm like,
Yeah.
You get the worm.
Oh.
I think at this point it will struggle, sort of fall to one side, and sort of very very sad, impotently.
Aww.
As you can make your way past it, sort of we're out of the action scene. It's no longer a threat. And, so yeah,
I run for a couple of minutes and then realise I'm on my own. Get really scared. Stop and wait for everyone.
Thanks for waiting.
It's okay. I didn't like being on my own. Oh, that was horrifying. Birds are scary.
I
No
like
more birds.
birds.
You still like birds?
Why? What's wrong with birds?
Nothing. Nothing's wrong with birds. Everything's fine.
Try to eat them.
When?
Just like a minute ago, that just happened.
Yeah, you were sort of patting it on the head and...
I like birds.
Right. This is going to be really helpful. So helpful.
Yes.
Great.
you can take that slingshot and kind of like fashion it like a sling around your shoulder, so that I can now just like ride in a little hammock sport.
You have a
around
papoose.
chest. Yeah, a little spot. Now I'm just like riding along in style.
It's not the first time one of us has ridden in a papoose, which is ridiculous. We had an off-air game where I ended up carrying you. It was you as well. It was you. I carried you around in a papoose. That was absurd.
so as you say that you like birds, you notice that there's actually more than 4 of you. There seems to be another goblin who's sort of standing next to you, holding a clipboard. He has a hard hat on, and
Oh no, it's health and safety.
The scariest thing of all.
and he says,
He's very bad at his job.
"Birds? No birds allowed here."
That's good. That's reassuring, actually.
Oh,
Why do you
yeah.
have a hard hat on? The thing's going to hit us on the head. Should we be worried? Is this scary? What's happening?
No, very safe here.
Now these are all for falling items.
This passage has been marked for destruction, and well, that's my job. And,
What you?
You're the destructor.
Yeah.
well, me and the wrecking crew are just up ahead.
Up ahead and they're wrecking things.
So he sort of checks his clipboard studiously, and he says, "Yes."
We need to go ahead. Is that going to be a problem?
Lots of rubble.
Well, we haven't set it off yet, but whole area's sort of off limits. Yeah.
Have you got like a detour, maybe?
Wait a second.
What?
He looks at his clipboard, looks at you,
What did I do? What's wrong?
says, "You that Sir Robin?"
Yeah.
No.
No, I'm not.
He sort of glances at you.
Why are you asking?
Yeah.
That depends. Why do you have me on your clipboard?
Well, it's just a minor note. No trouble really at all, except that, well, I mean, we're supposed to, well, all goblins, he glances at you, and then glances at you, and says, all goblins are really supposed to stop you from getting, and he points to the centre of the labyrinth.
Oh, well, he's been causing me a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Very spiky.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually been doing his job really well.
I'm like a walking hedgehog.
Right. What's your name? Pulls a pencil from behind his ear and flips over the clipboard.
Leaf.
Says,
Yes, that's my name.
Leaf.
Yes.
Funny name for a goblin. I'm Franz Mindel.
That's an amazing name. I'm probably not Sir Robin, actually. I've changed my mind. I'm just a cat in armour. There are lots of us.
He's my husband.
You do look very much...
Mr. Worm.
We're modern, don't judge us.
That'll be a difficulty 6.
We don't deserve a check for this. I'm married. A very loving relationship.
I'm Mr.
I'm Mr.
From
Worm.
Wormtown. You
Yes.
can check the
We
records.
met on a cruise ship. It was a lovely time. We drank champagne.
Right. Well,
We recently filed some paperwork regarding an unlicensed demolition.
Yes, we did that.
he says, now out here, I won't have no... So, you had a chance. We put up a notice for 3 months saying that this piece of the labyrinth was going to be demolished. So you've had your chance to complain.
But did you file a P57/C?
Oh. Roll me a check. Difficulty 4. Okay, so I just...
5.
He says, oh... Is that the
saw
one with
notice
or
for
without
short
umlauts?
With, and there's also some sub-clauses.
Oh, he flicks through all of his clipboard as the
It's like head round.
Start edging past.
as the pieces of paper sort of flap forward on his
Come along,
clipboard. You see that each
dear.
one is just a flick book of a dog chasing a ball. But yeah, he seems completely lost in it, and you guys can easily sort of
I've
continue.
forgotten what's happening, so I'm just going to keep walking.
And you will see stuff up ahead, far more sort of.
Oh, no, you're going to have to get some, talk to the head office about this. No.
So yeah,
What your job's worth.
up ahead you'll see that the passage is littered with fuses, kegs of gunpowder, sticks of dynamite. A crew of goblins is scurrying about, tossing explosives to one another.
This doesn't seem very safe.
Attaching them to walls and floors. Literally all of them are carrying lit torches. But they seem to be making a good show of it.
I told you he was very bad at his job.
I think we should run very, very fast. I'm good at running. I can show you how, if you like.
So you're just barreling through the...
Have explosives. That's my instinct. Let's go.
Nice. Okay. Are you trying to get through carefully or quickly?
Quickly is my instinct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go carefully because I don't do quickly.
Yeah.
Are there any explosives just lying around that aren't lit or anything?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Can
definitely.
I try and nick a stick of dynamite?
Definitely. Can you roll me a check? Difficulty 2.
Yay,
5.
So you pick up what appears to be a bright pink stick of dynamite with a fuse in both ends. And the goblins sort of seem to be too busy to have noticed you sort of take that one.
Store it very safely inside my plate armor.
Oh, I like these. You pull them apart and there's a prize inside.
What?
The surprise is an explosion.
Explosions are usually surprising.
Yes.
Yep. Even if you're expecting them, you just never know how big they're going to be.
Yes.
What about you guys? Are you stealing as you go past, or are you?
Not really in a position to do it.
Peace.
Yeah. My little hammock.
I'll try and take one of the torches. That looks pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be difficulty 3.
Okay. Ooh, it's a 6.
I think I'd just be, finishing off my conversation with the health and safety manager here.
Yeah, he's sort of on his hard hat. And you gotta take it all down until we got the proper umlauts. Gotta get this signed off. Yeah, Ringo, I know. I know, but it's more than my job's worth. I'll be honest. And yeah, the goblins all seem
You're lucky I was here.
completely devastated.
Oh.
That they're not going to get to blow up this corridor. And there's sort of chorus of complaints from the group.
I'm sure it's only temporary.
But yeah, you can sort of continue your way through.
Clank, 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 clank.
Leaf, you have this torch. Attached to the other end of the torch is currently a goblin with a very foamy mouth. And just get off! Give it a bit of a shake, and he sort of flips to the ground and straightens himself up, then crookens himself out. And he says, "Yeah, well, you better run."
Okay, I run.
And, as you guys continue, sort of round the corner, it's probably about 5-10 minutes of corridors before you hear a boom, and pink and green smoke sort of rising from the labyrinth behind you. It seems that even the Goblin King cannot prevent goblins from blowing stuff up.
Guess they got the unwrapped after all.
Glad we got out of there. Just getting some vision in my head of all of us blowing up in a puff of smoke. Just glad that didn't happen. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, good.
And you continue further into the labyrinth. I think that's a good place for us to take a bit of a break and pick up after lunch.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
thanks, guys. That was episode 1 of, well, maybe episode 1 and 2. Who knows? I don't know how this is going to be cut. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching our video. If you'd like to learn more, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. You can also like and subscribe to be told when we release new videos.
Come join our band of privateers at Flintlocks and Fireballs, a British 5th edition D&D actual play podcast in the unique Napoleonic setting of Calcinia. Follow our halfling gundad, anachronistic rock star, and sugar-fueled child sorcerer as they sing original sea shanties, topple governments, haggle with hags, and weep bitter, bitter tears. New episodes every Tuesday.